Thank you for tuning in. Please stand by. Our show will begin momentarily. You are experiencing an incredibly annoying wait time. We do apologize, but again, the show will start momentarily. Please stand by. Thank you for tuning in. Please stand by. Our show will begin momentarily. You are experiencing an incredibly annoying wait time. We do apologize, but again, the show will start. Hey everybody, welcome to Popular Unknown Paintball Live. I got to be honest with you. Normally, I have some sort of a rhyme or a reason that I am going to do on a show, but my internet crapped out at about 5:30, which was a few hours ago, and I literally just got off the phone with my internet service provider minutes ago. So if you ever thought that I was having fake it till you make it no plans before this show, I wouldn't even be surprised if everything just goes away. Like, don't be surprised if I'm in the middle of a sentence and the screen just goes blank. It's just been one of those days. But I missed talking with everybody yesterday, and I had to come on today, and I figured I'd just wing it for a little while and chat and just see where things go from here. But I didn't want to come on, or I didn't want to just not come on 2 weeks in a row. It's not my thing. Last week was pretty bad. I had about 3 people that I know pass away in a very short time span. And last week was just, you know what? I just need some alone time. And seeing as how I am not paid to do this show, I took the day off, and I don't regret that for a second. So we've got a Facebook user saying hi, hello back, Facebook user, and we've got Robert Hansen, my man from Chicago. Great to see you, bud. And we've got Sean saying evening all. That is amazing. And we've got Kenny Stewart here saying hello from the General Paintball Museum. And we've got somebody here saying, bring me on. All right, let me just take a look and see what I'm going to have to. I'm going to cheat because it doesn't say Facebook user. I have to see who it is here. And so let me just double check here and see what we got. So bear with me for a second, everybody. But yeah, today just has absolutely no rhyme or reason. So Peng says, hey. Oh, well, hey, if Peng wants to come on, then let's get Peng on here. Hold on one second. Let me just get the invite going here. All right. So Peng, I have sent you an invite. All right. So who else we got here? We've got John Blake Riddle saying, hey. So hey back. And okay, Robert, you can definitely plug Pirate Game at Sherwood Forest, April 23rd, 25th. Sorry, I'm going to miss that. And we got Charles Holton saying, hello, gentlemen. Awesome. And we've got Chica, which actually, I forget what Chica's real name, but apparently Chica's the name of his dog. But hey to Chica from everyone in Cali. I don't know why he doesn't use his real name. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. But yeah, so apparently Chica is the actual picture of the dog that you see right there. Okay, so now I got Facebook users saying, I kid. And so I guess Peng's not coming. The punk. He goes on his own show. And for those of you that don't follow Peng he's like an autococker whisperer from the West Coast, and people just absolutely love him, and they love his stuff. And you have to follow him on Facebook. His posts are hilarious, and he's just launching a YouTube channel. But he's launching a YouTube album, and the guy's hilarious. But for whatever reason, I was able to drag him kicking and screaming on my show once, and he's never wanted to come back on the show since. He just doesn't like it, and yet he can make a complete fool of himself on his own show. I love the guy. I love him to death. I wish he'd come on the show more often. But yeah. So yes, Peng, I'm talking smack about you. I'm calling you out. And yeah, so I will see if you pop up on my little green screen down below. All right, so what else we got? We got Timothy saying he loves the Focus. Thank you very much. I bought this at Skyball in Toronto. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 that I bought this jersey. I think it was Skyball 1. And it looks as good now as the day I bought it, and I wear it and wash it on a regular basis. It is like the perfect shirt ever. I don't know if you've ever owned one or not, or if you've ever actually seen one, but they're like a thick cotton t-shirt, but better, and they're damn near bulletproof. Jay Muncaster and I forget his partner's name off the top of his head, but when they made Focus clothing and the Focus t-shirts and what haven't, they were just the best ever. All right, we got, speaking of fantastic autococker and gun techs in general, we got Jake saying hi. I call him the Mag Whisperer. He is awesome. And if you guys didn't see the post that he made on April Fool's Day, you need to check out his Bearded Works, because he made the funniest announcement on April Fool's, and that was hilarious. And Chica saying, sorry, buddy, my name is Josh. Well, that's okay. But like, I mean, I'm just playing. Yeah. So anyway, I have absolutely no idea what to talk about. So the 17 of you that are currently watching, feel free to shoot questions out, and I will go along with that. You guys are in control of this ship today. And Jake's going, ha ha ha, sorry. And I am telling you right now that he is not sorry. It was the best. I mean, that was a fantastic crank. Like, you guys, anybody, if you get the chance, Jake, right there it is. He has Bearded Works. So look up Bearded Works on Facebook if you don't already know. And you'd have to be living under a rock not to already know. But yeah, check out his stuff. He does some of the most fantastic things. His YouTube channel, by the way, he posts shooting videos of everything he works on, and it will make your jaw drop. So swing over to his YouTube about that as well. But it was absolutely fantastic. And we got Charles Snow saying the Focus were the bomb, but mine did wear out. Sorry, Charles. I don't know what to tell you. And we got Kenny saying, let's talk about the band. We can, but I would recommend, for those of you who don't know, go over to Flagpole Productions, because Fred Schultz had a majority of the band on last night's show. And so you go on YouTube and you look for Flagpole Productions, and Fred is talking about it constantly nonstop. So I can't say enough nice things about Fred Schultz and the band, and it's super exciting. And for those of you that don't know, the band is going to be at the Woodsball World Cup, and it is Bud Orr, it is Dan Colby, it is Tim Schloss, it is Andy Starrett from the Ali Remembered Foundation. It is Kathy Alvarez's son, I believe. I believe that, what's his name? Captain of the Master Blasters. On the tip of my tongue, darn it. Just on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, swing on by. You got to check it out, and you got to watch the show. Like, I wouldn't do it justice. You have to go over to Flagpole Productions, like, share, all that fun stuff, and just check it out. But it is amazing. And we got Kay saying, well, we could talk about Titman's. Could we, though? I joke. I am not a Titman fan. I respect what they do. I respect what they've accomplished. I had a lot of fun with the Model 98s, but of all the paintball guns that I own, a Titman's not one of them, and I don't see myself ever owning another one ever again. There's just 7 million screws you have to pull out and put together in the clamshell design, and I don't want to do it. All right, and we got Mark Gong. Yes, sir. I love your design for the Hermans. And oh my, look who just popped up. By the way, for the Peng, I see you in the green room. I'm going to get you on in just a second, but I just got to finish talking to Mark Gong here. His son's team, the Hermans, which is the Ultra Young Guns group, which is all the kids of the Iron Men, and I think they're in the 10 range, give or take a few years. Those jerseys are the best, and they played awesome. So, all right. So I called Peng out, and it looks like he's joining me. So, hey, Peng, how's it going?
What's up?
Not too much. I got a whole lot of people commenting on the things. I just want to cut through it really quick. We got Samuel saying, "What states are people playing paintball in?" I would say all of the states. Pretty much, because if they're playing in California, they're going to be playing just about everywhere, to my knowledge. But Canada's or Ontario is in complete lockdown, and I think England's opened up, so I think Canada's the last bastion where everybody's just locked down, and we're like the 17th wave or whatever our politicians are telling us today. And we got we'll possibly talk about how great your beard looks. See, I call it my Pepe Le Pew beard because it's got skunk stripes. Peng's rocking the beard. Like he's got the distinguish going on.
I have a lot of kids' beard.
Yeah, that'll do it too. And Kevin Donaldson. Yeah, that was the person I was forgot about with the band. Have you heard about the band, Peng?
I've been following them. I've been watching his posts, and that's pretty amazing to see his kids are just what band? What am I talking about? I'm a little lost.
You were talking about the Hermans.
Yeah.
and the Hermans are awesome. But the band is Fred Schultz actually got Tim Schloss to come out. So it's going to be, they're going to play 10-man mechanical, and it's going to be Fred Schloss, Andy Sturette, Bud Orr, Dan Colby. And for those of you who don't know, Dan Colby is Immortal Air, and just, Tim Schloss was who brought out Tiger Stripe originally. And yeah. So
G from Autococker Parts is going to be in there also.
Is he going to be on part of the band?
Yes.
Okay, I missed that. Hold on a second. I
think it was a late invite. They needed
Go ahead.
They needed a water boy, a pod runner.
Maybe that's it. Let me just check out here. I got the list. Andy was asking me some stuff about the jerseys. The jerseys look pretty cool. They're bringing that back, the Tiger Stripe and whatnot. Okay, so players, we've got Andy Sturette, Cesar Pizzo, which is Ultra Silk, which is awesome. Andy, by the way, is Ali Remembered Foundation, which I'm a big thing. Kevin Donaldson, which is Hall of Famer, Master Blaster. We got Rennie Boucher, which is just awesome. We got Michael Goodman. I'm not exactly sure where he comes from. Fred Schultz, obviously self-explanatory, because nobody needs to be introduced to Fred. Like everybody knows who Fred is. Same with Bud Orr. Same with Dan Colby. We got Tim Schloss. We got Bill Bailey. We got Charles Holton. Not quite sure Charles Holton off the top of my head. And then we got Adrian Alvarez. That is Kathy Alvarez's kid or nephew, something like that, related. David Rudig, David Bell, Hal Hagrid, and Tom Gee. And that right now is the roster.
Sounds like an all-star lineup right there.
Right? Well, it is an all-star. That's practically a Hall of Fame all-star lineup right there. Because there's what? I know Bud's in the Hall of... Actually, one second. Let me just get rid of... there we go. I know Bud's in the Hall of Fame. I know Fred's in the Hall of Fame. I know that Kevin's in the Hall of Fame. I know that Dan Colby, if he isn't, he will be soon. Give it a year or two, but I don't know. I'm not quite sure if he's... So out of a 10-man team, there's 4 Hall of Famers. Wow. Tim Schloss, I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame, but he will be at some point because just what he did. Yeah. It was...
That's a story.
And we got... Charles, am I watching you? I don't know. Am I watching you? Oh, and Kevin says, I can't play. I'm running the event. Fair enough. And speaking of Hall of Famers, bam. Because you've got your cell phone like this, I've made it a big screen instead of doing my normal. This is my normal. But I think with your screen like that, I think we look better this way. No. You're good. You're good. And we got Jeff Thompson from the Booney Boys. I almost wore my Booney Boy jersey tonight. This was just warmer. Kenny Stewart saying Gino is going to fill pods. I don't think Gino will fill pods. Like, I think that's beneath him at this point. He's an awesome guy, don't get me wrong, but I don't see him filling pods. I see him paying somebody to fill pods for him. And what we got? We got Marky Gone going, bah. I don't know what that's for. I missed that. Oh, and Rennie is in the Hall of Fame. Thank you very much, Charles. Yes, he is. You are 100% correct. I don't have all the Hall of Fame memorized. Rennie's such a good guy. Just, he's great. And Tim Schloss made Hall of Fame this year. Jennifer Montresor is picking up his award for him. Is she picking up for Tim Schloss, or is he picking up for Tim Montresor? Because I know Tim Montresor made Hall of Fame this year, not Tim Schloss. But yeah. And okay, Kevin's saying Dan is in the Hall of Fame. Tim goes in this year. Got it. So yeah, I lose track. So let's talk about you since we got this on. You've got a new machine. You've got a new YouTube channel. You've got like a whole lot going on. You've even got a contest going on.
And we already decided on the winner. I'm making some purchases for the build. I'm actually just building markers out of all the known companies that are big in the mechanical that has helped push mechanical. And so I'm contacting each one of them after each giveaway. I'll contact another one, and I'll be buying all their parts and putting it into the build. Just my way of thanking the customers and stuff. I didn't get this far without them, and the support.
Right.
So it's just, I'm always doing builds, so I figured why not? I got a bunch of bodies. I put them together, reach out to a few companies, put all of their products out there, and get them some limelight if they haven't had enough already. But just appreciation. If it wasn't for most of these companies, we wouldn't have all the cool stuff nowadays, right?
Oh, I know. Like, one second. I'm just gonna move this. I am not fully prepared for this show. I don't know if you caught the intro or not, but like it's 9:00 now. My internet went out at about 5:30, 5:36, just give or take a bit. And I was on the tech to try to get back up and running for hours. Like I literally just got it back up and running just a few minutes to 9. I'm like, great, here we go. So how's your YouTube channel doing? Are you getting lots of people to subscribe?
Yes, I had a lot of subscribers. It's mainly just, I'm not really doing it for the views and stuff like that. My YouTube is basically a mix of family stuff and paintball stuff, and I'm just preparing them for the next stuff. And I'm doing all this paintball stuff to actually fund my kids to play paintball. So as you know, I have 5 more builds that needs to be completed.
I haven't been following 100% over the last few days because I had a really rough week last week. Like I had 3 people that I knew pass away. And now they're not immediate family, but that being said, losing one person that you care about is enough. Losing 3,
yeah,
and it just but yeah, is what it is. And I'm not gonna dwell on it because new week, and that's the one constant is the older you get, the more people you're gonna lose, and that's just how it works.
Everybody drop like flies around you. The older you get, it just I don't want to be the last to go because I don't want to experience that.
I don't know. I kind of want to be the last to go because, well, I'm that awesome. Can you imagine the pain I would inflict on others? I would rather just be the last to go, and then everybody. That's my final gift to everybody is outlive everyone. Then they don't have to go through the pain of losing moi. No ego at all.
go first. I don't want to watch anybody die. Family members and stuff like that. It'd be pretty devastating. I don't take it too well to losses. So
Yeah.
I go first. It's yeah. It is what it is right now, right? The
Yep.
world's changed.
That's the funny thing. Everybody asks us like, "Oh, was it COVID?" No, actually, it wasn't.
No, it's just life in general. But it's age, time. The older we get in age, the more people that we know passes away. Hell, there's people age passing away on a paintball field. It's just my wife's yelling at me about my health. I'm growing a belly. Yeah.
It's not a belly, it's bounce factor.
Yeah, I told her it's because of COVID. She's like, "No, you've been gaining that."
No, but you're doing it on purpose. It's a paintball thing because paintballs bounce better off fat. They just do. So you're not going for extra weight. You're going for bulletproof.
What? I can prove it. I can prove it. Watch. You see? See? These are brittle.
Are they brittle or are they gumballs? I love having you on, by the way. I know we've only had you on once. Every time I was like, "Hey, do you want to come on?" You're like, "No."
No, I needed a reliever today. It's just a lot going on. I just messed up on I was this close to a milling. I was really close to finishing, and I made a mistake of calculation, and I cut right into the thread. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so I cut into what the IVG, the threading is for the mid block, and it went in a little too deep on my calculation. I put the wrong size end mill on there, and some people wouldn't share this type of stuff. But I like sharing my work, and everybody likes to share all the good stuff that happens in life, but they never share their misfortunes, right?
Yeah.
And it makes us human. It's just showing people that anybody can do it. The more we get in it, the more people we take interest in it, the more the better paintball will be, I guess, right? So,
all right, we got somebody asking you a question. It's Chica or Jeff. Says, "Hey Pango, are the Paintball Gateway 2K raw body kits a good buy?"
Oh yes, they are. Oh yes, they are. I got a bunch of them. I have about 6 or 7 of them. I use for builds and stuff and cutting things up and making my own stuff. But it's a good buy. I don't see nothing wrong with them. They're great quality.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And we got Sean here saying pound of bacon and a half dozen eggs before every event. Okay, I can top this. All right. So this is cooking. This is cooking with Steve here. All right. And this is something that I learned a few months ago, and now I've made it numerous times. Go to the grocery store, and those. Now I'm Canadian, so bear with me. The prices may be a little different in your neck of the woods, but you know how you can get those frozen garlic bread loaves that are really long, and they're like $3 for $5, give or take. The United States probably cheaper, but your one is worth more. Well, you get one of those loaves, cook it, and before you cook it, cook a pound of bacon in the oven. All right. And when I say in the oven, because you put it on a sheet with some aluminum foil, and you just let it bake that way. That way it gets crispy on the outside and chewy on the inside. Take the whole pound of bacon, set it aside, fry up some eggs or egg whites. I do egg whites myself. And then shred a whole lot of cheddar cheese into the eggs when you scramble it up. Then you bake the French bread, and then you put the entire pound of bacon on the garlic bread, and then all the eggs on top of it, and you fold that monstrosity up. Now you can do lettuce if you guys want to, and you want to, but that just so I'm sorry, healthy food ruins the whole effect. But now you've got a sandwich with a pound of bacon, which is about yay long, and it cuts into 4 separate sandwiches. My son thinks it's the greatest thing ever. So if you get the chance.
That's really good. Actually, bacon, anything.
Yeah, but bacon in garlic bread.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
I kid you not. You got to try it. All right, we got okay. So that says killed that oracle. I believe that's Bobby Doust because he absolutely because he's with the Bobby there, and then Kenny's going biscuits and gravy, and then we got Steve DeLego asking you a question. He says, "What is your favorite autococker design?"
The carnivore.
I knew the
That
answer,
is that.
but he asked, so I'm going to let you. And we got
That
go
has
ahead.
been my, and that's always been something I dreamed of owning. But I think it was a $1,200 something price point. It was unaffordable for me at the time, right? And
Right.
I just happened to start picking them up so when they became affordable. Long
Yeah.
story.
They were one of the
Yeah.
they were one of the very few autocockers that didn't lose a whole ton of value. Like I mean,
How is the
autocockers all lost value, but they were the ones that stayed up relatively high. I think
well,
it's because
they're
of Greg Hastings video game.
mm, well, they are. If you haven't kept up on the prices of them now, for a used one, it's going for the price of a new one now.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
I've seen that and I get it, but I'm seeing autocockers selling for thousands and I'm seeing jerseys selling for thousands, like $3,000-4,000 and I'm just I I can't see spending that much money on somebody else's jersey. Like I
well,
just can't.
well. A lot of I'm starting to notice there. A lot of my customers are coming out of retirement, and
Right.
a lot of them have stories they played like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and a lot of them want their old stuff back, and they're willing to pay that price. And and I don't know if it's sheer lack of just nostalgia, but a lot of them have said there's nothing that beats the quality of the stuff from back then versus the new stuff nowadays. And that's talking to dozens of customers, and some of them pulling out their old autocockers, some of them finding them on eBay or whatever they can find that they shot back then, and they're willing to pay this price. They all left paintball a long time ago, found a career, make good money, and they're coming with that money, and the price is getting higher. And then they won't let something that they had as a kid elude them this time. Now that they have the big spending, that's what they're doing. A lot of them are paying that money. Just point back.
I'm surprised more people aren't manufacturing autocockers like Caliber or not Caliber, like Free Flow and like Shock Tech and whatnot, because they're demanding such high prices for them. It blows my mind that more people aren't manufacturing them. Because when Bud Orr was manufacturing autocockers, they were like a few $100s for baseline. I mean, there was the high end ones that cost a lot more, but it just amazes me that more people aren't making bodies, and they all seem to have that classic STO look. I'm surprised that there aren't people coming out with, say, aftermarket carnivores or their own take on carnivores. That just blows my mind.
Well, I think it's the price it costs to make one. There's not much too much money to be made from it, and I think time and to was it the time put into these autocockers? You're talking about hundreds of pieces, and for them to make just a simple tube design, it's quick money, and their profit margins even higher. I don't think a lot of people want to invest that much time into it. So I think autocockers a love relationship, like something you have to absolutely want to do. It doesn't generate too much of a profit. Like when I work on the markers, an hour and a half to 3.5 hours sometimes if things go wrong, and they don't generate that much in profit. It's just I think it has to be a love thing for them. Like Buddy Bear. I know he's a very established guy making autocockers. On his free time and stuff like that, and it takes a lot of love for someone to do that. And Yeah, I don't think he makes that much money because me generating and thinking to myself on how much it costs for an anodizing job to the parts and time, it's not much. It's not much in it. You know, it's just
I appreciate what you're saying. I get that, and it makes sense. But my argument is, if they release say 150
mm-hmm,
and it sells out like that, there has to be a way, because that's how the like supply and demand. If there's a
mm-hmm.
huge demand, why doesn't the supply represent that? That's
Well, if it's
I'm
readily,
not go ahead.
if it's readily available, you think people jump on it? Yeah, so that supply and demand makes people fight for it after that, right? They can produce more, but it doesn't. The more it is, like little Honda Civics, nobody wants them. They can get them any time, but
I'll take
well,
one.
because you have to because of gas prices and stuff. But if you were to have a customized, let's say one of these badass hot rods, right, that are being built by hand,
Right.
every, they're not exactly identical to anything else you can just go to the store and buy and pick up. These autocockers, they all come with their own identity. A lot of them has their own anodizing. It's very likely you walk into a field and meet another guy with the exact same one. So when
Right.
there's a limited supply of them, it makes it people fight for it, right? Supply and demand, and if it's overflowed with them, I think it'll kill the market itself. And then if they release one every 6 months or 3 months, and it becomes like, I can get it anytime they want. But when there's not that many suppliers out there, people they want the latest and the greatest, and they don't come out too often. So people jump on that
Oh,
opportunity.
I understand that, but I just think, or I'm just surprised. I'm not disagreeing with any point that you make, but that being said, I'm surprised that there aren't people saying, well, you know what? I have the funds, I have the ability, I want to create something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just, because it's demanding this much money, I am honestly surprised there aren't people who are jumping on and trying to create it just because there is so much demand. Everything you said is 100% accurate, but I'm just talking about that.
More, yeah, it's such a niche market, right? And it's a very niche market, and for someone to risk money like that for the amount of money to put in, I think it's it's kind of scary situation, right?
Right. Oh, I don't disagree on any of the points you make. It's just, I'm just surprised with the amount of demand out there and the prices that autocockers are demanding. It blows my mind that more people aren't creating them.
Yeah, and the machine time now is the price of metals and stuff is up there now. I There's a lot of people away from that. Yeah,
But everything's way overpriced right now. Like lumber's what, up 10 times what it was? Something
yes.
stupid like that.
But my neighbor just paid for a sheet of plywood at $60. That was used to be $20.
Right.
Astronomical.
I don't know if you saw my post, slightly off topic. I drink Hawaiian, those little stupid Hawaiian punch packets that are sugar free.
They're not stupid. They're delicious.
Right. And I would get them at the dollar store for $1.25 for like 8 packets. And I would get various flavors and whatnot. I haven't been able to see them in 2 months up here in Canada. They just haven't been available. And so I thought, oh crap, I'll just go online. Do you know how much they're selling a box of these for? Talking 8 packets here. Try between $10 and $20. 16 being the average.
Back to Kool-Aid, it is.
I could literally go to the grocery store and buy a 24 case of pop for less, like half price of what it would cost me for one of those packets of. So I'm getting more drinks and I don't have to mix it myself. And if I didn't buy name brand, like if I just bought the generic stuff, like a generic grape pop, I could buy 2 cases or more. How nuts is that?
It's crazy. The world's going nuts right now. It's all the supply and demand and companies and restrictions with this COVID stuff. I think it's driving it all up. it's the crazy time we're living in right now.
All right, we got Tubber Rock saying, "What's crackin' Peng?" I don't know who Tubber Rock is, but that's a hell of a cool handle.
It is. I want a cool name.
You have a cool name. All right, and we got Neb saying that I'm a genius. I'm not quite sure what that is. And it's like, what up, OG, then triple OG? I don't know. I never understand what Peng's, or what Peng, my apologies, what Neb's talking about. And he's got one here saying, with an 11/16 cocker, could you get it to a low enough pressure without an LPR, asking for a friend? I've
never tried it. I can't answer that.
I'm going to go with no.
No.
Anyway, speaking of text, maybe this guy knows. Jay.
Hey. Oh, hell no.
So that's actually an interesting question, because I think the lowest somebody's got cocker is down to like 160. So that ram would be moving pretty good. So I don't know.
Wow. I've never dabbled in that, and some things I just never tried, and you know what, I'm gonna try it now since it's brought up.
So for those of you who don't know,
let me know.
We got Peng beside me here, and he is one of the best gun techs on the West Coast. And then we've got the Mag Whisperer, Jake of Bearded Works, and he seems to be doing more autococker work than mag work lately.
Well, that's because they're always broken. I'm just kidding.
All right, I think I need to do this. All right, separating you two.
Middle Eiffel Tower. Put on your hand.
No.
Oh, okay. And on that note. Oh, that's funny. All right, so we got Mark Gahn saying, "I gave you a cool name, Octodad."
Oh gosh.
I got a lot of kids. It's amazing. It's a different life. It's just every one of them's got the personality, and I'm just going nuts every day. Every one of them seems to surprise me with something new every day.
That's a lot of personalities, Ping.
Now we got Sean saying Tech Night, and Sean, he's actually Tech in Ontario as well. Sean, if you're listening and you want to follow, if you want to join in on this, and we can just start hammering out questions or whatnot. But Sean, he's in Ontario. If he wants to jump on, he's got a thing too. So just let me know and I'll send you a link, bud. Mm-hmm. And then we got Neb saying low pressure tank, high pressure regulator, I'm assuming. So I don't know. It's been a long time since I've had to do anything along that lines.
Neb's gonna pick at us right now. Neb is what I've come to know as a troll.
Yeah, that he definitely likes stirring the pot.
Oh yes, he does. That's why I enjoy his company.
and I think and it's funny because I get a lot of people saying, "Oh, he's talking smack about you," and like my phone all of a sudden start blowing up, and it's like, when is he not talking smack? The truth of the matter is he lives about 30-45 minutes away from me. So if I wanted to, I could go up and slap him upside the head if I wanted to. So for those of you out there, I'm fairly broke. So if you want to collect a fund, maybe I can go have like a Neb slapping video, and we'll just like start
powder on it,
throwing them around. Pay-per-view fight to the death. So, but everybody's right. We do have a ton of text on here. If anybody wants to fire out a question, please be my guest. We got Jake. How much to fix a hyper frame won't turn on?
Throw it away.
So Rob, by the way, is my friend from Chicago. He plays with Destiny Midwest.
Yeah, so it's probably the board. on those, you got to be really careful when you change the battery. The capacitor actually holds a charge, and if you touch the wrong terminals, it'll short out the board and kill it. So anytime you change the battery, you basically just want to like completely disconnect the battery, turn it on, like click it until it basically the battery's dead, and then plug the battery back in.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much, chances are it's pooched.
Yeah, it's probably the board. Probably the board, and those are getting hard to find because everybody's killing them on accident. But it'd be well. I know there's a couple guys that are talking about doing universal boards. That'd be pretty cool to drop in one of those. I know Sci-Fi was looking at it at one point. I know Enoch was looking at doing one too. But there's kind of a really small niche community that could use some stuff like that. I'm sure there's some spider guys out there that could use a board too.
So I'm not familiar. So what's a universal board? Like I know what a I know a hyperframe was like an aftermarket electric bolt-on, was it not?
Yeah. So the hyperframe was basically they had one for cockers and mags and I think spiders, maybe something else. But basically, it was a bolt-on upgrade to turn your gun into electronic. But they all kind of were based around like a Spider, like E99 or Avon or whatever that is. Pretty basic sear tripper, and they all kind of use the same style board with buttons on the back and whatever. All the boards are really similar, but the Cocker one. That one obviously has 2 solenoids, so it's a little weird. But yeah,
Cocker owners are
right. Yeah. So years ago, there was a company called Scenario Dreams, and they made a universal T board, is what it was called. But it basically was like the size of like a quarter, and you could, the whole thing would fit in pretty much whatever frame. And then there's wires running out of a pigtail, and you just hook it up to whatever solenoid and battery harness and whatever else, and it just had a generic output or whatever. And anytime you pulled the trigger, it shot, and you could program it kind of like a Tadea board or whatever.
Now we got Steven here asking a question. Where'd it go? There it is. There we go. What's the best lower internals company for a full block pump in your opinion? Peng, why don't you field this one first?
Lower internal for a full block pump, I stick with CCM. I tried another one that was from Cocker Parts that was pretty close to it. That the smoothness, the light pump stroke for them. The CCM's got a down pack on when it comes down to lower internals.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I really like their hammer.
Yeah, the weight's perfect on it.
Yeah, I like the CCM hammer, and then for anything that is I say anything that's unique or different or whatever, I'd probably say Inception.
Yeah, Inception's actually got a few of them. They're pretty. Their weight's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
I just love the CCM stuff. Maybe because I just grew up with them as my.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
All right, and we got Now, I don't know if you guys know who Connor is, but Connor is the Thunder from Down Under. He's hilarious. I've had him on the show a few times. He's a riot. So, hey, Connor, great to see you hanging out. And we've got Brian Meyer saying up Pango and Jake.
Hey, guys.
Now, I am guessing that this center flag made an E-frame. I'm guessing that is Bobby Doust, but don't quote me. And we got Neb saying, War Game Products, fight me.
Yeah, of course.
If it's a pump gun, now I understand I have 2 Sniper 2s and 1 Sniper 1.5. So all my pump autocockers are actual Sniper 2s. They were never autocockers. And for all intents and purposes, the pumps are stock.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, does modifying the parts really make that much of a difference? Because I could make those things sing.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. So I guess now you're probably going to ask, what kind of difference does it make? So a lot of it comes down to the feel, the sound, the shot signature. There's a lot of things other than just. I mean, you can get away with just stock WGP stuff, but the more you end up playing with an actual pump, the more you realize that the bolt drag, the hammer drag, you end up feeling all of that versus, shooting a mech cocker or whatever, where everything's done by ram.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, maybe it's just that the first pump I ever shot was a Winchester Model 12 with a slam fire, and I'm just used
Yeah.
to big and beefy. So
Right. Yeah. No. So a lot of those old school, the sniper
Shotguns.
ones, the sniper twos, yeah. Those all shoot great. But there's stuff to be said about modern stuff that everything is honed and polished and everything's set up ready to go out of the door.
See that? So Charles, you made an interesting point, but I actually had Bud Orr on the podcast. Actually, I'm the first person ever to have Bud Orr on a podcast, believe it or not. But he actually made a lot of the parts for other companies back in the day. Now he doesn't anymore because he's out of the game as far as that goes, at least temporarily. Who knows? We may be able to suck him back in, but I doubt it. I think he's having too much fun racing trucks right now. But yeah, he used to a lot of the aftermarket parts that were saying, "Oh, this is so much better than Wargame products." It was actually a Wargame product part that was just remarketed and sold to somebody else.
Copied over and over also.
Yeah, I want to say it was like ACI or something. He made a couple different parts or something.
Yep. And people were saying, "Oh, it's so much better." And they tested and they said, "Oh, this is," and he was sitting back laughing. It's just like, it's the same part. I love Bud for that. All right. And we got somebody saying, "Hey, Connor." So I assume that is Bill Bailey because he says, "Hey, Bill, how's it going?" So Bill, glad to have you watching. And what else we got here? Everything was scrolling by so fast. What do we got? I'm sorry. Bear with me a second, guys. Tonight has no plan. I'm honestly surprised that the internet hasn't crashed on me already.
And we got test it somehow, right?
We got Rob Walker of Fox Paintball. He's saying, "This is great podcast for no planning there, Steve. Thank you very much." And it's
I don't get on these things, and I'm kind of like, I kind of say the wrong things. I say things backward in front of a camera. If you guys ever see my live stuff, just today I just felt like getting on and just releasing some steam after messing up, and just let it all go.
Yeah, but you got to keep the flaws. Like that's what makes it. That's what makes it fun. That's what makes it real. Like especially with you guys.
Yeah,
so
that's how you figure it out.
Yes.
All right. So
Jake's a great tech. And he's an all-around tech. I just do autocockers and a few other guns, but I've asked Jake questions, and we it's great when I share these things and machinists that been around for a while, they start pointing things out, and I am not embarrassed at all to share those flaws because I get free information. People that pay to go to school are telling me these things, and they're actually cutting all the corners for me and leading me to the right way right off the top without me experiencing too many mistakes, right?
Right.
And I think I just put the wrong end mill on there. Someone pointed out instead of a half inch and no, a quarter inch, and I put a quarter inch on there after my measurement, and it went right into there. And and I was celebrating a little early, and I went to go do that window on the other side of an Oracle, and I was showing my wife, and she was like, "Oh, great, great." I'm like, "Yeah, I can do it." And yeah. End of the day, I just sat down for the rest of the day.
Yeah, when those happen, I'm done. tools down, and that's it.
Just walk away.
Right? Yeah.
I tend to make more mistakes when I do make mistakes, so I find it better just to put things up. And
Now, do you find when you make the mistakes, that's when you're on like your 14th cup of coffee and you're just trying to push yourself and you're not having fun? You've made it more forcing yourself to work. Is that when you tend to make more mistakes? I know that's when I tend to make them the worst. Is when I've just pushed myself past the limit.
Yeah, I'm at the age too where I stop now and I ask questions. You know, I've come to builds where I've never encountered certain parts, and I've called up many techs out there that's respectable ones and guys are willing to share the information, and we kind of work with each other. You know, there's things I've never touched yet. I've only been in the teching a year and a half, right? And Jake's got a lot of knowledge over me, so there's no
just a few guns.
Huh?
I said just a few guns.
Yes,
I'm gonna change the subject for just a quick second. Jake is fairly young, and he's got the glorious beard. I got the skunk stripes going, and then we got Peng looking like Father Time. like I just want to take a moment because I just clued in. Forgive me, but we've got like the paintball beard down set.
It's a manly thing.
I mean, I'm just saying.
All right. And we got I would like to know you guys more than what other hobbies do you guys have? There's no time for other hobbies.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Peng's rebuilding a car, a Supra, I believe. And I still say full Fast and Furious bright orange is the way to go.
I got
for sure.
And I'm getting made right now. It's a 300ZX. So I'm getting a license plate made 300 FPS instead of ZX.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a paintball kind of thing, build a midlife crisis thing. So that's, you know, I was looking at old photos and I just had to build one. I've wanted one since they came out, and I found an old junker that I probably kind of regret buying. But, you know, it's going to be fun. It's going to probably take me a couple years, but, you know, since we're not made of money, I'm just going to put a little at a time, and hopefully it's, you know, I just pay for the license plate. It's probably going to be the best thing looking on the car right now because it's a power.
Do you watch Roadkill at all? Motor Trend?
I don't think I have.
If you get the chance, go on YouTube and look for Motor Trend Roadkill. Now, all the new stuff is only subscription only on Motor Trend TV, like on their webpage or an app, whatever. But originally it was a YouTube only, and it is David Freiberger, who's Hot Rod Hall of Fame, and his buddy Mike Finnegan, he owns a speed shop, and he's like an engine rebuilder. And basically, they take pieces of junk and road trip it and deliberately destroy them. It's the best thing ever. Charles says, Peng, are you from Chicago? He is from California, Charles.
Southern California.
Is it Southern? I thought you were Northern California. Okay.
No.
Cool.
I'd be weird if I was from there. Now, I'm just kidding. The Northern California guys are probably going to kill me.
There is that Northern Southern thing, which makes no sense to me.
Ping's going to get shot up at North versus South.
Well, I figure that the rest of the country pretty much hates California as it is. So why is California fighting with each other? I don't know why they just don't band and.
Well, I think it's the ego thing, right?
Could be.
It's just, you know, I've met Northern California guys who think they're the greatest paintballer of all time. I like to egg things on, and you know, I like to throw a little jab out here and there. It keeps it interesting. You know, in the end, you know, it's all paintball, right?
Paintball's not paintball without smack talk. It just isn't.
It's fun. It's fun.
That's true.
All right, and we got Neb saying, I guess we have to take up golf in Ontario now that the fields are closed again. Yeah, we're shut down, by the way, for those of you who don't know. Ontario is shut down until early May because we're on like
May.
what?
Wow. It's like 2 weeks.
we just had a news thing, and only 2% of our population has been able to be vaccinated. We have the worst government on the planet, as far as I'm concerned, and just butchering the job, like just the worst. Anyway, but no more politics. Kathy's saying, "Say what, Kathy? You got to be more specific." By the way, for those of you who don't know who Kathy is, she is
Northern.
Yeah, she's Northern California,
Yeah.
but she is also, her brother was on the original Master Blasters, and
Cool.
I'm not sure if it's her son or her cousin or somebody with her last name. In any case, is going to be playing on the band with Bud Orr and Fred Schultz and Dan Colby and I don't even want to. So
That's awesome.
Oh man.
And we got Charles saying, "Did I not meet you near Joliet?" No, all Asians look the same.
Yeah, I was gonna get to there.
And we got I don't see a massive paintball community coming from NorCal. Here we go.
There is a big community up there.
Yeah, they're hiding.
They're a very big community. Enough to do a NorCal northern versus southern fight. That's how big they are.
Who ended up winning, Payne?
It got canceled because of COVID.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think somebody out or something.
Yeah,
and
North must have been scared.
Yeah.
I was actually supposed to fly in for that too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was as much as I wanted to meet everybody, the person I really wanted to meet was Rich Telford. Like I wanted to I want to meet Rich Telford, like shake his hand so much. Like there's so many really iconic people in paintball that I just admire the hell out of. And I was lucky enough to get Rich on my show a few weeks back. So that was really cool. But yeah, I believe Rich Telford was running the field for that particular game at the time. And he sold the field now. I don't think he has a field anymore. I'm not sure what he's doing at this point. But yeah, I was really looking forward to just meeting him. I mean, there was a bunch of people that I wanted to play with. I mean, I've got an Ironman jersey, or OG Ironman jersey. I should be specific because there's the two teams. But I've got an OG Ironman jersey, and I was going to be playing alongside Wheeze and everybody, and that was going to be fun. So I was going to be part of the North, but yeah. But you guys were scared of me and locked me out of the country.
Right. I was looking forward to that. I was literally going through my markers and redoing them all, even though they shot great. I really wanted to like just meet everybody, just shoot everybody, and just. But when it came that, it was actually going to be my first longest paintball trip. I was going to make that trip, and I had everything planned and actually looking for hotels and motels, and everything was in play and done. There was so many people I wanted to meet from up there. There's some iconic people I actually want to see. And
I'm not saying there weren't lots of people. I'm just my number one. I wanted to meet Rich Telford. He's like, there's Bud Orr. I've met him, and I think he's just like the coolest cat ever. And Fred Schultz, I've met him, and you know what I mean. Like, there's so many people that I've shook in their hand, and it's one of the reasons why whenever I go to an event, it's like selfie. But yeah, at the top of my list of people that I really want to meet, Rich Telford is like in the top 3 right now that I haven't met yet.
That'd be great. Hopefully the field or somebody picks up on it and do a North versus South. Just give us enough time to plan for it, because we just can't up and leave our jobs and go.
Charles, you asked if it was Living Legends. No, we're talking about the North versus South California game that was supposed to happen last year, and unfortunately, nothing happened last year worth mentioning. So speaking of people that I want to meet, who, like, if you had to pick your top 3 people that you want to meet, who would you guys want to meet? Jake, why don't you go first?
Well,
Tom K, I'm assuming.
Yep. I'd like to meet Jack Wood. I tried to track him down at I think it was Fulda, but he's sneaky.
They have to be.
Right, yeah. And then I'd like to meet Fred. I haven't met Bud Orr in person. I think I've talked to him. So there's a few people on the list that are, definitely well known.
Yeah.
So,
what about you, Peng? Oh, sorry. Continue, Fred. Jake, sorry. Continue.
So I was actually supposed to. I was trying to go to Super Game Oregon, and then obviously there's a few people I'd like to meet there. Doc Fire, Ryan Jameson, Dan Bizzani. I haven't met Bocce, and there's a few other people too. West Coast people.
I'd love to meet Bocce too. He's that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a cool dude. Very relaxed.
So much passion in that guy. Peng, who would you want to meet?
Well, I met Bud about 4 years ago.
Right.
And Bocce I met. That's a good one. I want to meet actually one of the. I met Mark Davis. I actually went all the way to Vegas just to see one of his work personally. And because he was drivable, and I actually really enjoy his artwork, his talent in engraving. I had to meet him, and Angriano, pick his brain on machining and stuff, because I've been following them for quite a while. They actually are inspirations of why I'm doing it. I just want to. I don't think I'm going to get any greater than these guys, but it drives me to every time they post something. It gives me this umph to go and fire that thing up and mess up some more stuff. But but it's not really the players like Jack Wood and stuff like that. It's the guys who create it. I just want to pick their brains at things and meet the guys that are in the industry more than the players out there. I'm pretty sure you guys know that.
you know who I'd love to meet along that lines is Aaron Carter.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I had a chance to meet him, and I didn't even go up to him. There was so many people around him. I was kind of like, I'm kind of shy to people that are. I feel that holds the greatness, right? And it's just I was.
So that's why you don't come on my show.
Yeah. Well, I it seems I get a little. I'm pretty talkative on the internet because I can post things.
Right.
But when talking to people that I hold up high is kind of hard to. I guess it's that stage fright thing. It's like.
I don't have it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm that guy. If you ever watch my video, I've said things backwards. I call things backwards. And Tom K is one of them. Actually, I own a few automatics. People don't know that. But
I haven't got a phone call yet, so you must be doing good.
No, I tend to work on what I know. There's markers, there's boards I haven't messed with, like what have Jake messed with, right? I like to keep things a little bit easier on myself, so I work with what I know also. So I'm not gonna risk myself ruining things. So I'll recommend people out like Jake and Tim Furple and stuff like that have more experience in it, right? I played with that autococker wizard thing because of a little spoof video I made for another guy, and it was just in retaliation of talking crap back and forth, right? And it kind of stuck with me, the cock wizard, right? But and I don't even know how it stuck with me. It was meant for the other guy, and now I'm the cock wizard, and I don't think it's anything to be proud of.
Self-proclaimed.
You know what? I think the UK Predators have it best. To be part of the team, you automatically get forced to get a nickname that you hate. Like that's just the rules of the UK Predators. So like you get a name that you hate, and that's paintball. Like, I mean, if you talking smack is just part of it. It's one of the reasons why I like Neb, and that's why when they go, he's talking smack, I'm like, really? What did he say? That's funny. And we move on because Neb's a riot. All right. So somebody said, actually, Jeff Thompson said another tech genius should be on the screen. Caesar. Well, I believe Caesar's online, so I'm going to send him an invite because I can. But I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't come on. So Caesar, if you're still watching, I just sent you a link. You are more than welcome to join in, say hello. For those of you who don't know who Caesar is, he's the man that is responsible for the Super Cockers, that gorgeous. Oh, you can't see it because of the thing, but actually, he's responsible for this super duper ultra shocker that I have here. And as Peng pointed out, Ultra Silk, which is absolutely amazing stuff. I just love it. So, Caesar, no pressure. I sent you a link. I'm not going to beg. I'm not going to plead. If you don't show up, I know you're a coward. And we've got Sean saying Cold Fusion. Oh, I like.
Yep.
I'm not bragging and I'm not name dropping. I'll talk to Caesar occasionally for various things every now and then, and he is one of the coolest people that I know in paintball, and I love talking to him. And the stories he tells me off the books are just a riot. So if you can ever get him talking, just go up, shake his hand. He is one of the most egotistical, humble guys because he's that Italian bravado, but deep down, like he's just 100%. And I can't say enough nice things about him. So every time I send an insult his way, believe me, that's a huge compliment. Because if I don't like you, I'm not insulting you. So I lost track of where we were at.
We're just shooting it.
We are.
Yeah.
So does this mean, Pang, for future, if I send you an invite, you're going to join us? Or are you going to be like, no?
Today I just needed to blow off some steam. I'm usually, I know a lot of people online. But in person, I'm usually to myself, right?
Right.
And just because of background wise, like, having so many effed up friends along the way, So I kind of close those doors to a lot of people. So I'm not saying I'm somebody special, but if I ever invite someone to the house, it's because, I feel that, they can be trusted. Trust is a big thing for me, especially when you invite someone to your home, right?
Right.
We can be friends and stuff on the field, but there's not many that will ever step, foot on your.
Yeah, come to the house. Yep.
Yeah, that's another story. I have to know you for a while, especially with all the weird stuff going on. Yeah.
Well, I live in another country, so I'm not going to be showing up. I'm just talking about my show. And if for anything, this is my house. Welcome to my house. Speaking of friends, that's actually one of my greatest regrets, and I'm going to say this because I can say it kind of to your face. But Jake, one of my biggest regrets is that I didn't get to hang out with you last summer because I was supposed to come down. We were supposed to do ICC. We were supposed to do all sorts of things. For those of you who don't know, Jake and I were talking a lot with the late Tim Montresor, and we were supposed to be doing some really cool stuff with Airgun Designs and Team Fox and a couple big games, and there was Biscuits and Gravy that was supposed to be involved, which has always got my attention. But yeah,
and then COVID.
Yeah, I got to Vegas, and then everything slammed shut after Vegas, which sucked.
It's very unfortunate.
Do they have a projected time frame of when the country's going to open back up, or?
Nope.
Give me the baby.
Nope. They got like I said, 2% of us have been vaccinated, and there was supposed to be another 1 million vaccines coming, and they're talking like it's a big number. We're talking about an entire country. Right, and Canada doesn't have a large population in comparison to its size. But that being said, Toronto has 7 million people in it, which even by American standards, that's massive. Right. Like we may not have a lot in the middle and like away from the big cities, but our cities are huge. And so when they say, oh, yeah, we're getting 1 million doses, that's like a drop in the
Right.
bucket.
Yeah.
So now the good news is that apparently I'm close to a hot zone. So I may actually be able to be one of the first people to get, like, of my age group. I may be able to get mine before a lot of people in the country, but that doesn't mean they're going to open the borders, which just cheeses me right off.
Yeah.
So, but it is what it is.
I am not getting no shots.
No? Well, you see, I know some people want to, I know some people don't, and I respect that entirely. But for me, I can't do what I love, and I can't. I can just. There's already talk about requiring shot certifications to cross borders and stuff.
Mhm.
And so if I want to come south, and so I'll take the shot just so that I can do what I love. Like, Tim was talking to his mom. Tim Montressor was talking to his mom a few days prior to his passing, and she was expressing concern about him traveling, and he said, you know what, Mom, if I've done so much and I've traveled so many places, if I was to pass tomorrow, I'd be happy. Like, I've lived a full life. And then he kind of did. Like, and I
Yeah,
kind of feel
right.
this. I kind of feel the same way. I mean, I'm not saying I want to check out on my son or anything like that, but if I'm not happy and I'm not doing what I love, like, I put paintball on hold shortly after my dad passed away for various reasons, to try to grow up, establish myself, whatnot, because I felt that I was living a lifestyle that was childish, no matter how much I loved it. And I was going on burnout, and I'd already been playing for almost 20 years. Like, just to put that in perspective.
Right. Yeah.
And so I left, and I couldn't get it out of my system. And so after the divorce and everything, when I started to get back into paintball, I really appreciated what paintball means to me. And yeah, if I have to take a shot so that I can come down south, hang with you, Pang and Callie, and whatnot, because Bud Orr's offered me speaking of staying Police's house, Bud Orr's offered me the guest room. So if I can get down there, I get to crash at the godfather of paintball's house. Like,
I'm only 15 minutes away, so I'll be...
just shoot me up. I'm coming.
Well, I'll be ready for you if you mutate. You know, I'm gonna have to take you out.
Hey, if somebody's gonna shoot me in the face, I want it to be a paintballer.
Yeah, a paintball, be a 5.56.
Again, if it has to be somebody, let it be a paintballer.
I'm just kidding. I'll run.
But yeah, so but there's going to be a lot of stuff happening up here once things start to open up. I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to cross the border or if you're going to want to. But I know that Wasaga Beach, if you guys get the chance, you guys got to come up and check out Wasaga Beach paintball. It's probably one of the best fields that isn't well known. Like, back in the 90s, we had the Canadian International Amateur Open, and people loved coming up because Wasaga Beach itself is actually the longest or the largest freshwater beach in the world. And so it's this huge party town. I don't know how else to describe it. It's this great little party town.
Yeah.
And then Wasaga Beach paintball is one of the best fields I've ever been to. And considering I've been down south, I've been to Health Survivors, and I've been to EMR, and I've been places, and I can tell you that this place is absolutely phenomenal.
Cool.
Oh,
uh-oh.
I was bringing in packages.
Is it paintball related?
Yeah, more markers.
Well, let's do a box opening.
You know, it's you know, I'm very blessed to get these customers, right? But at the same time, I'm not getting to any of my stuff.
All right, so Connor says, I have biscuits and gravy, and I am sorry, Connor, but we're talking about Australia here, and biscuits and gravy are really only biscuits and gravy if they come from the southern states. There's
Oh.
just a difference. Jake, I don't know if you can back me up on that, but there's
of
just
course.
there is a difference, and I'm kind of concerned that you'd be sneaking kangaroo meat in on me. just saying. All right. So what do we got? We got Brian saying I might be moving to Cali to work for SpaceX. I can come hang out with you.
Cool.
And we got I met a Canadian over here in Australia who played at Wasaga. Good. Awesome, Connor. Wasaga is just awesome. Like, I love Combat Pursuit, which is my local field, which is Trevor Van Dorser and Jeff Van Dorser. And they also have premium paintball products in Toronto. And it's just like a fun little mom and pop kind of retro 90s. If you want to know what it was like playing paintball back in the 90s, got to go to Combat Pursuit. But if you want to go to one of the premier fields, Wasaga is worth the drive, and it's worth crossing borders for. I'm just flat out is. And Neb's saying I'll pick you up at the airport. I'll be vaxxed by then too. So I guess Neb and Connor are talking, and we've got Sean being a jerk, and we got what's more southern than Australia? I got nothing. There's all South America, dude. Like, not that Australia is not fantastic, because it is. Just that everything on that entire continent's trying to kill you, and I can't understand a word you're saying. Anyway, so anything that you guys want to cover? Actually, go ahead, Jake. You were about to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I thought about you this week when a customer dropped this off.
Nice.
So yeah, he's having me rebuild this, but I thought that was kind of funny because he just told me it was a STO and then or STO or whatever you guys want to call it. I know somebody will say something.
STO.
Yeah, but when he pulled it out, I was like, oh man, I gotta show Steve. So
do you know what he's talking about, Peng?
Yes, you have that marker.
I do. Now there's a big argument about how many of those exist. Now that is a Jeff R custom, and I believe it is a pre-99. And because there was a whole thing, I really have no idea. But to my knowledge, that was called bubble wrap anodizing. And the picture doesn't do it justice because it's really like a gold to red with an orange fade in all the things. It's either super ugly or it's super gorgeous, depending on who's looking at it.
It's gorgeous.
Some people love them, some people hate them. But it was just a body kit, and I believe there was only 7 made. Now, some people have said that there was lots more, but I'm talking in that specific anodizing. Yeah. I know a few years ago there was a push to try to track them all down, and we could only find 6 or 7 that anybody'd even heard of. So maybe 10 most.
Were they all done with the same milling?
See, I've heard that they have different milling, but I think that they're all the same. Like Paul Darnborough, who I bought mine from. Paul Darnborough is a Booney boy, and he played for Constant Pursuit under Fred Schultz. And that autococker was one of the pro autocockers back then. So it was used on Constant Pursuit, but he said that his milling was different than the other people's milling, but every picture I've seen, they've all been the same. So I'm not saying that Paul's lying. Maybe there were only a few. I don't know the answer to that question. There is very, very little information about that particular style. I just know that I absolutely love it. I think it's gorgeous. And yeah.
It's definitely unique. I don't know if I would have picked that.
You know what? I love it. Like it's just so obnoxious that it's beautiful. Kind of like a pug.
Yes.
Just, or a VW thing, like
Right, yeah.
it's just so hideous. It's awesome. And I will tell you, when you pull that thing out on the field, everybody just sort of looks at it and they run just on fear alone, because they see that and it's just like they have no idea what it is. They don't know how to describe it. It's just, did it come with a back block?
Yeah, I got the back block, but no front block.
Yeah.
It's got just a black pre-2K.
Yeah.
And then this one was actually drilled for a screw for the feed neck.
Yeah.
So this one may get modded for clamping feed neck, but we'll see.
It's an autococker. Like there's no such thing as a stock autococker, really. It's just not.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
and that's the thing is like so many people, used to be, they were like, oh, don't cut it. And now, it's kind of a little different, because people realize you can slip on, clamping feed neck on and then it's, good to go. For the next 20 years or whatever,
right.
that it's shooting. But yeah, there's some guns I wouldn't cut, but this one's already drilled, so I'd go and cut that and be done.
You know what? I mean, Paul would probably have a hissy fit if I put any cuts to his, but he's already drilled out the side for the top and side hole mods on it and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's not perfect, and it's been used and like it's scratch, like it's, God bless dirty girls. I'm telling you, like just you got to use them. Like wall hangers suck.
Yeah.
So
good thing I don't have those.
Oh.
In view of camera.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
I have a ton of paintball guns that are probably going to get hung up on a wall if I ever get walls that I can hang them on. But that's just because I can't see myself repairing or fixing up an old Nightmare competition short barrel, because to try to get the paint to sit in the like, it just, there's no point. The paint doesn't work anymore, so the gun's useless. And even then, I mean, it only had a barrel that was like this long. Back in the day, that was cool as hell, right. And everybody wanted the short guns so you could be in nice and tight. And then science kicked in and people woke up, realized, oh, we can get better performance if
right, yeah, if the paint matches the barrel, if the barrel's longer,
if yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, looks like we've hit a lull. And we have almost been on for an hour and a half. So that is a great show.
Uh-huh.
So I don't think there's any use whipping a dead horse, but I got to say, I'm really glad you guys came on and saved my show for me tonight. No, seriously, thank you.
Like, I mean, invite, Steve.
You were chatting away, and I'm thinking, like, well, I've got one tech, one of my favorite. I got to get my other favorite auto tech in, and like, let's get our favorites in here, and let's just. I'm surprised more people didn't ask questions though.
Well, it was like a last minute thing, and
yes. But you know what? I don't, like, if you probably knows my videos, I've found out from my short period of time of teching, even old players don't even know how to operate their autocockers. You send it back to them in a shooting video and it's perfect, and when it gets in their hand, something happens. And 9 times out of 10, it's because they have the wrong PSI on their their tank.
Yeah,
that could be, but I would argue, and I mean, you guys are techs now. Mm-hmm. I used to I set up my guns specifically for how I play and how I shoot. The trigger assembly on my 97 autococker was completely built from scratch by Boston Paintball. Like, I paid $400. I had the trigger plate, sear, all of that was made from scratch. It wasn't a pre-made part, because this was back in 98 or 99, like just before Skyball 1. But you couldn't get a lot of really cool aftermarket parts back then. And Boston was one of the few people that were making true custom work. Like, I mean, Palmer's was and whatnot. But one of the things that I know is Caesar is arguably the best autococker tech that the world has ever seen. Like, just flat out. I've had supercockers that are like brand new. He set them up and they went, here you go. But it's got that really big, long, loose, sloppy trigger pull. I can't shoot it. Like and I'm an autococker guy. I like my gun set up just a little bit snappier. And so it could very well be that you're setting your gun up for how you shoot, but you need to set it up for how they shoot. I'm just throwing that out there because
a lot of them did actually don't know the pressure. I've actually questioned them right when they have an issue and they'll message me. I'm like, what tank are you using? What's the output? And they're using something they used on their Bob Long, which is like 450, 400 less. And it's not actuating. I tune my markers at 750. And so I start actually now with every I send a little note what I tune it at. And a lot of people don't know how to adjust FPS also. They don't know how to do it. And you can adjust it through the reg. It depends on how the tuner does it, and you can I find myself explaining how to operate it more than anything to a lot of guys, and there a lot of I've ran into old players that don't even know how to adjust their FPS. They just throw it on there. They got this big old bore, and the balls are rolling out all over the field, and it just helps them spread the knowledge. You know, the more they understand it, the more they'll love it instead of having these horror stories about autocockers, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt for just a second. Brian Myers asked if Tom K still owns Airgun Designs. The answer to that question is 75% no. Airgun Designs, the company that you're thinking about, it went out of business in, I want to say, was it 2005, Jake? 2000?
Yeah, it was about then.
Yeah, about 2005, and they closed the doors, and they created, and then after it closed, and I forget the gentleman's name that sells the parts, they created the company Airgun Designs USA, which is a second company, and it specifically sells parts and has for the Airgun Designs. How's this for an autococker guy? Eh? I know a little. I learned most of everything from this guy right here, by the way. But after that, Sandman created airgundesigns.com, which is the company name, not just a cool fancy Earl, in 2015, I believe. And he started manufacturing and selling custom auto mags on demand. Like, so you would order, there's not ones that are pre-assembled. You order what you want and then he assembles it. But as for Tom K, it is my understanding that Tom K still owns the licenses for the name and whatnot. So he still has a lot of control and a lot of say over what happens within the Airgun Designs companies, but no, he does not own it. But out of respect, they talk to him. Jake, if you want to add anything, or did I basically hit that fairly accurately?
Yes, Dave Zupan.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Dave Zupan more or less took it over, I guess, started the new company, which was Airgun Designs USA. Dave Zupan still has the parts created for Sandman.
Which is airgundesigns.com.
Yeah, correct. So Dave actually distributes to Sandman, and then Sandman is basically the retailer.
Right. But you can't order anything. Oh, looks like we just lost Peng. Oh, he's back. You can't order anything from Airgun Designs USA anymore. Now all purchases and sales go through Sandman. So one company is parts, one company is sales and distribution. Neither one of them are owned by Tom K, but Tom K does still own the license to the logos and whatnot, and I'm assuming the patents, et cetera, et cetera. Don't quote me on the specifics. So he still has input on what goes on with Airgun Designs USA and .com, but he's not actually part of the companies anymore. But thank you for the question, Brian. That was a good one. I highly recommend, if you get the chance, go to paintballmedia.com, and I want to say the March issue, because with Jake's help, I was able to write an absolutely fantastic article, self-plug, and I'm the guy that's responsible for driving the prices up on all the airgun design parts within a month, because it was the first time
Steve.
an airgun Designs gun was on the cover of a magazine in like 2 decades, and everyone was like,
yeah.
"Ooh, sorry."
All right.
You're very welcome, Brian. And does anybody else have any last minute questions they want to fire out? Peng, you got something you wanted to say?
I gotta get to go because dinner's ready and I'm starving.
All right, man. Talk to you later. You have a great one.
Later, Ping.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you got to come on more often.
Maybe. Thank you.
I will hunt you. I know people in Southern California. I will send people your way.
I think they're here.
All right, go eat.
Later, Ping.
Okay, and we got any help with rebuilding an Empire Resurrection? I don't know what Connor like.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know
so
what you're looking
Connor,
for, Connor.
I had a long talk with Connor the other day, because he basically has a sniper that he wants to convert to an autococker. Now, thankfully, the airgun the ASA actually has the rod hole for the three-way rod.
Mm-hmm.
Have to forgive me, I'm a little rusty on the actual parts names at this point.
All good.
Haven't had to rebuild an autococker in many, many decades. But yeah. In order to help with rebuilding, there's nothing wrong with an Empire Resurrection. You just basically gotta tune it and time it. Like, are they ideal? Well, they're not. They're definitely not a shock tech, and they're not a free flow, but there's nothing wrong with them.
Yeah, the biggest issue with the Resurrection was quality control for the O-rings. I think the Empire just didn't want to, pay up for the O-rings, for quality O-rings or whatever, and the reg seats. So a lot of guys, when they got them, they basically had to do like a full rebuild with quality stuff. You can get, well, I know Connor's in Australia.
Yes.
So it's a little different sourcing parts there, but honestly, if it were me, I would just gut the whole thing. Make note of where all the rods are set before he does.
Yeah.
And then just gut everything, put it all back together, set your reg to like 300, and then pull the trigger and see what happens. If he ends up, if he ends up needing help or it leaks or whatever, reach out, and I'm sure we got enough guys that can.
Fair warning, you tell Connor to reach out. I love the guy. I love hearing from him. He makes me laugh. He's one of my favorite people to talk to. But fair warning, you ask him to reach out and you're going to get a whole earful of Aussie lingo and tank videos and all sorts of stuff. Thou hast been warned.
Okay. All right.
And he's also going to give you some kind of strange nickname, because apparently I am now Moose McGuire in Australia.
Oh, well, that's a thing, I guess. Yeah, Connor, if you end up getting stuck or whatever, there's autococker groups or whatever, and any of those guys can jump in and point you in a direction. The Resurrection was, it was a great design. It's set up to be really easy to put it all back together, and get it rolling for somebody that's not super into tech and come on, Moose. Yeah,
they're trying to make it a thing. I gotta be honest, there's worse nicknames.
It's true.
There's worse nicknames in paintball. There's worse nicknames.
Oh yeah,
and I've
sure.
had many of them. All right. So one last question. Chica asked, what is a good three-way? At this stage in the game, pretty much all of them.
Yep. So the top ones right now are the Inception V2, the Shock Tech Bomb 2. I would say the Die three-way. Although a lot of guys are having problems with the Die three-way. I think Die is working on resolving some of those issues. But as far as actual feel and stroke and everything, they're all pretty solid. If you want something that's like a little bit cheaper, the Empire three-way that came on the Resurrection is pretty nice, but it's just got a longer stroke. And then the same thing with the Inception V1, if you end up finding one of those used or whatever. So.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Well, thank you very much for being on, Jake. I know I dropped it on you last minute, but
thanks, Steve.
You didn't have to come on.
No,
I
it's
just
all
wanted,
good.
I just wanted to chat with you. You're awesome.
Literally, I'm just sitting here, messing with stuff and listening. So,
and you wanted to rub it in that you've got a bubble wrap.
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't know how long I'll have this, but we'll see.
What's he gonna do with it? Like, is it what kind of a frame is it getting and stuff? Is it gonna be pump or semi? What's it gonna or mechanic? Like, what's happening to it?
Yeah, so it's mech. It's got a WGP, the double hinge frame.
Right.
I think it's got a Palmer's long LPR and maybe a Stowe three-way. Well, yeah, it's basically all going back together, and unless there's something that shouldn't, and then we'll end up swapping something else out. But
the one I've got's got the Wargame Products frame too. Now, Paul spent a lot of time polishing all the internals and stuff, and so it's awesome. But
nice. Yeah, I mean, this one, I don't know how he ended up picking it up, but he ended up with it in his hands, and he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. So it rode in a buddy's car, and it showed up at my door, basically. So
nice. Oh, hey Tracy, you got in time just for us saying our goodbyes. So, but I'm glad to see you on. So, all right. Well, anything you want to give a shout out? Anything you want to talk about before you go?
No, I think we're all good.
All right.
Thanks, Steve. All right.
I get this funny feeling you're about to flip me off. All right.
No,
talk to you later.
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right. Have a good one, Jake.
All right. Thanks, Steve. Bye.
Ciao. All right, everybody. That was my show for tonight. I have to be honest. I'm a little surprised that the internet held. For those of you that have been here since the beginning of the show, I had no internet until about 5 minutes before I went live. And I was honestly expecting it was going to cut out. I figured I'd talk maybe 15 minutes because I didn't want the week to go by with like missing 2 shows in a row. I didn't want that. I wanted to come on. And as it turned out, Peng from the Autococker Genius from the West Coast came on, and then I got Jake, the Automag Whisperer, on, and it turned into a great show. I should probably do things like this more often and just have friends on and shoot the breeze. But yeah, and Chica saying, great show, everyone. Thank you, Chica. I appreciate it. And you have a great night, Tracy. You have a great night too. I'm glad to hear that you're feeling better. For those of you who don't know, Tracy had some very serious surgery, and she's coming through it very, very well. And we're all very happy and excited to hear about that. So that's my show for tonight, guys. Everybody, keep your paint dry and play with passion. I'll see you all next week. Have a good one.